Assalamualaikum, dear students. Hope you people are doing great. So today we are with the chapter number 2, recognizing opportunities and generating ideas. So welcome to the new chapter on this recognizing opportunities. How can we generate the opportunities? How can we recognize the opportunities and how we can generate the ideas? So this chapter is extremely important because every successful business starts with an opportunity, not just an idea. Many people have ideas, but only a few recognize the real opportunities and act on them. So in today's lecture, we will cover the difference between an idea and an opportunity. There are 3 ways to identify the opportunity. We will discuss this as well. We will discuss the personal characteristics of entrepreneurs that helps in spotting opportunities. So first we have the difference between an idea and opportunity. Idea is simply a thought, a suggestion or inspiration. For example, it would be nice to have a restaurant that sells only organic food. This is an idea, but an opportunity is more than that. It is an idea that is attractive, people really want it, that is timely, the right time in the market, that is actually solves a real problem the customers are facing, the issues, and it has the potential for profit. The entrepreneur can sustain the business. For example, many people had the idea of online food delivery, but Food Panda turned it into an opportunity. So they entered when internet penetration was rising, smartphones were becoming affordable for everyone, customers in the big cities want convenience. So they solved the real problem of waiting in traffic or not knowing where to order from. So that is actually the difference. Idea is the head, but opportunity lives in the market. Let's have a story for this. When Steve Jobs saw the iPod, it was not just an idea of a music player. The opportunity was that people were tired of carrying CDs and cassettes. The iPod solved that problem, was timely and earned the Apple billions. Now we have ways to identify the opportunity. We have 3 ways. First way is to observe trends. Opportunities often arise from major trends in society, from economy, from technology, from the government. Smart entrepreneurs carefully observe what is changing around them. Social trends, we can identify the opportunity from the social trends. In Pakistan, the rise of social media created a huge opportunity for digital marketing agencies, for influencers, for e-commerce businesses. For example, the success of clothing brand on Instagram like Generation and Outfitters who sell directly through online platforms. And the third and the next way to identify the opportunity is the economic forces. Inflation, unemployment, job scarcity often push people to start the businesses. For example, Daraz.pk recognized that Pakistanis want affordable online shopping, especially during COVID-19 when many people stayed at home. Next opportunity we came from the globally during recessions. Discount retailers like Walmart and the dollar thrive. Technological advances, the smartphone revolution created Cream, Bikeya, Uber, Food Panda. For example, Bikeya in Pakistan saw the opportunity of motorcycles as a cheap transport, plus deliveries, solving the issue of expensive taxis. So we can identify it through political and regulatory changes. Government support for solar energy opened doors for hundreds of renewable startups in Pakistan. For example, Rion Energy became one of the largest renewable energy company in Pakistan. After the favorable government policies. So we have a story of Cream. The founders of Cream did not just launch an app. They carefully observed 2 big trends. Traffic congestion in big cities like Karachi, Lahore, high smartphone usage among the young Pakistanis. They combined both those trends into an opportunity, a ride-hailing service. Within years, Cream became so successful that Uber bought it for $3.1 billion. The next is solving a problem. Another powerful way to find opportunities to solve a problem that people face on daily basis. Pakistani, if we see from the Pakistani perspective, Pak Vitai developed a special water filter bottle for disaster hit areas and flood victims in Pakistan. They identified the problem of clean water shortage and they turned this into a business. If we see the example of Sehat Kahani solved the problem of women doctors unable to work in the hospitals by creating a telemedicine platform where they can serve the patients online. So if we see it through the global example, Elon Musk created Tesla to solve the pollution caused by fuel-based cars and founded SpaceX to solve the problem of costly space travel. If we see the Airbnb, who has solved the problem of expensive hotels by letting people rent out their homes. So the key points in this are that every problem you see is a potential opportunity if you find the practical solution. So the next is finding a gap in the marketplace. Sometimes the opportunity is not about solving a big problem, but it is about noticing something missing, which is missing in the market. If we see it from Pakistani perspective, Rosie.pk filled the gap of online job searching. Before Rosie, finding job was limited to the newspapers and contacts. Barize identified a gap in the Pakistan's fabric market. High quality fabric was missing, so Seema Aziz created Barize, now a household name. Shops identified a gap for the women-only shopping, online shopping communities, providing a safe marketplace. And if we see it from international perspective, Netflix saw a gap in the traditional video rentals, like Blockbuster. Instead of going to a shop, people could stream movies at home. So the lesson in this is that look for what customers are demanding, but not finding. That gap is gold for entrepreneur. So personal characteristics that help us to spot the opportunities. Not everyone notices the opportunities, I must say. Certain personal traits help an entrepreneur to recognize them better. So the next is prior experience. Entrepreneur must have an industry knowledge, because if he has an industry knowledge, he can see the gap easily. Seema Aziz had experience in textiles and knew how poor fabric quality was in Pakistan. So there are cognitive factors as well. The cognitive factors, I mean the alertness. Some people have a sharp opportunity radar in their mind. They connect small hints quickly. For example, Munis Rahman, Rosie.pk owner, noticed how LinkedIn working abroad and quickly saw Pakistan needed its own job portal. So there are social networks from which people with large contact can get more exposure to the problems and the ideas. For example, many Pakistani startups grew faster because they had mentors in National Incubation Center. So the next is creativity. Creativity also helps to turn imagination into the reality. For example, Sadia Bashir created Pakistan's first gaming academy because she combined her passion for games with the idea of training youth. If we see it from the global perspective, Walt Disney, who created Disneyland because of his creativity in storytelling and imagination. We have 5 steps to generate the creative ideas. The first step is preparation. The second step is incubation, and the third is insight, fourth is evaluation, and then elaboration. Let's understand each step one by one with very simple examples, with very simple stories. The first step is preparation. This is the very first step. Preparation means collecting information, learning and observing. You need to understand the problem before you can solve it. Most good ideas come from what you already know or from your life experience. For example, imagine you want to solve the problem of long lunch lines at your university. You talk to students, you observe the cafeterias, You write down what problems they actually face. This is preparation. The next step is incubation. After collecting the information, you need some time to let your brain process everything quietly. This stage is called incubation. Sometimes the best ideas come when you are not actively thinking about the problem. This is reality. For example, after researching lunch problems, you go for a walk or you watch a TV. Suddenly, while relaxing, your brain starts connecting the dots in the background. The third step is insight. This is the exciting stage. Insight means the aha moment, when a solution suddenly appears into your mind and it feels like a light bulb turning on. For example, you suddenly think, what if students could pre-order their lunch through an app and just pick it up in seconds? That flash of idea is insight. The fourth one is evaluation. Now you must check if your idea is practical and realistic. The idea realisticness is very much important. Not every idea is worth pursuing. Ask questions like, will people use it? Is it affordable? Can I test it easily? For example, you can ask 20 students if they would use a pre-order lunch app. You also test it by trying one small pilot for a single day. If people like it, you move ahead. If not, you improve it. So the last step is elaboration. This is the final step. Elaboration means developing the idea into something real, a plan, a prototype, small model. It is about working out the details. For example, you design a simple order form online, partner with a cafeteria and run the service for 2 weeks. You now have a real version of your ideas. So if I summarize the today's lecture, so idea is just a thought, an opportunity is a real, profitable and timely business chance. Opportunities can be found by observing trends, by solving problems, by finding market gaps. Successful entrepreneurs often have prior experience, they have creativity, they have social networks, they have alertness that help them to recognize the opportunities before others. If we see the real life examples from Pakistan, we have the Food Panda, we have the Cream, we have the Breeze, we have the Rosie.pk, we have Park Vitae, which show how ordinary ideas became the extraordinary opportunities. Thank you so much.